Hi everybody, I'm Nikki White and I am going to talk to you about sewing your Pointe shoes. When I started Pointe, I didn't have anybody sit me down and say, this is how you do it. It was just grab a needle of thread, grab some elastic and ribbon and look at other girls' shoes and see what they do and kind of figure it out on my own. So I hope that this helps a little bit, and by no means am I saying that you have to sew your Pointe shoes the way I sew them. This is just some advice and some suggestions if you don't know what to do yet, or if you've done it one way for a while and it's not working and you need to try something new. So in tying your knot, and I hope this saves you a lot of time, you take both ends, so you've threaded your needle, you take both ends and you pinch them together on one side, and then you pull the needle out to the other side so that it's right in the middle. Now you bring your needle back and you make a loop, and you pinch it with this hand. Does that make sense? So you stretched it, you brought it in, and you have a loop, like you have a circle. You take the thread and you wrap it around the needle 3 or 4 times, and then you grab the twist that you just did around the needle. Let me do it one more time because I got excited. Twist, twist, twist. You grab, and then you pull the needle, and you pull the knot all the way to the end, and you make a nice little knot. I'm going to show it one more time really quick because this is something that I think is important and will help. I have my 2 ends, I have my needle, I pinch, wrap, grab, and pull. And I have a perfect little knot for my Pointe shoes. I sew my elastics and ribbons together. Everybody has their personal preference. You can sew them individually, whatever you like. I tend to think that this method keeps it on pretty well. So I lined them up so that I'm going to sew on either side of the elastic drawstring that goes through here. I don't want to sew through the elastic drawstring because then if I ever need to tighten it, I won't be able to move it if I sewed it to where it is. So I sew on either side. So I take my needle, I hold it in place, and I start on the ribbon side. I go through, and I come back, right above where I did the last one. Then I scoot over, through, come back, right above where I just was. And this looks easy, but this must be the 4 millionth pair of Pointe shoes I have sewn. So it just takes practice. So essentially I'm going straight up from my previous place, and then I'm scooting over on a small diagonal. And if it gets caught like that, you pull it out, straighten it, and then pull it back through again, which will happen a lot. Getting snags, breaking your needle, poking yourself in the finger. All these things are very common occurrences when it comes to sewing your Pointe shoes. Or what just happened now was I got my floss wrapped around my elastic. So it just takes practice and a little bit of patience. I would say put on your iPad or your iPod. Do this while you have a movie playing. Something to keep you company. So I've gone all the way across. Now when I come back, I do the exact same thing. So I just came back from the edge of my ribbon. Now I start coming back, and what I'm going to do is make X's. So I'm going to cross to where the previous one was. Go through and over, making an X. Through, over, and we're almost done. We have one last one. Through, and we're done. Now, the last thing I do to tie off my knot is I will bring it through. It's very similar to how I tied the knot. I'll bring it through the ribbon one last time, and instead of pulling it all the way through, I'll stop so it's a loop, like this. Then I'll do similar to what we did before. Take my needle through the loop, wrap, 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 pull the needle through, all the way down. I keep one finger in there to kind of keep it from tangling, which it's doing a little bit. Pull through, and I have a knot. Now, you can either cut this, or what I like to do is burn it, because as we talked about before, it will seal the knot. So I get everything out of the way, try to get this as much space in here as possible, and I have to light my lighter kind of sideways. It's a little tricky. Sideways, burn, done. And that is how I sew my elastics and ribbons. I will do that exact same thing on both sides. So you can see this is what it will look like on one side and X's on the other. And when I sew my ribbons, or when I sew the ribbons, I do it on the inside of the shoe. When I sew the elastics, I do it from the outside because I don't like to have my elastics on the inside. You can. I don't know why I like it on the outside. I just like it there instead. It seems to pull it up a little tighter. I hope that helps in your new adventure of sewing your pointe shoes. And don't forget that when you're done with your elastics and ribbon, to put it in a knot and get it all ready to go, because you never know when you're going to be in class dancing and one of your elastics is going to come off, and you can just grab your floss, open it up, pull out your needle, it's already threaded and ready to go. You can sit down, stitch it up, and run back out there and not miss a beat. So, let me know if you have any questions. Have fun, and don't worry if you poke yourself and bleed on your shoe. Blood on your pointe shoes is considered good luck. Aren't dancers nice and crazy, huh? Have a great day. Bye.